A package in the mail, MS games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my channel update for October 2017. A few days late, but been busy getting our garden under control because it's late spring here and the weather has finally kicked in and everything's growing like crazy, and it's not raining, so we can actually get out in the garden and fix it. So anyway, that's nothing to do with retro gaming. I have a little bit of list here if I keep on looking down here. This month has been an extraordinary month for other pickups and especially systems. I thought my system collection was pretty damn close to where I was going to get it, because I'm not actively looking for any particular systems. There are certain systems that of course I would love to have one, but some, don't always have a place to put them and buy them, or more importantly get them posted from wherever they are to me. So unless they virtually land on my doorstep, I'm not really going after any. But in Australia, I was lucky enough to pick up an Amstrad GX 4000 console, so I would put that console on the list of curious novelty type of devices. So one that I didn't really need to get, but one that I was actually curious, especially from a programmer's point of view, about getting. Now I've already done a video on this particular pickup, so I'll try and pop a little snippet down below, so if you are interested in going and look at that. But I was very pleased about getting it. I managed to get it with a 32-in-1 multi-cart. Now it did come with a slightly under-amped power supply, so I'm currently working at a better power supply of that, so that you might see a few odd gameplays from me. I'm not intending on collecting the cartridges for the system, just interested in playing systems, seeing what it can do, and you never know. Maybe I'll tinker and play and might convert one of my games to it as well. I'm always curious in systems that I've never programmed before. But the really big pickup for the month, and this was care of my fellow Press Play on Podcast mates, who so basically an American fellow who has migrated over to Australia and lives down here in Tasmania. Shipped over in large containers a lot of his gaming equipment, and now he's moving on from it. He wants his space back to concentrate more on other things, and he had quite a large number of systems, most of them that I had, but I got a phone call or a message from these guys saying, "Hey Tony, do you want to come along? There is something that might interest you." And that thing that might interest me is a system that I never thought I would get, both because they are quite literally huge, especially when they're in a box, but really very little of them were sold down here in Tasmania, and the system is none other than the Coleco Atom. So as I continue to talk here, hopefully some photos of when I went and collected the system, and as you can see, the box in relation to me, and I'm just almost 6 feet tall, is quite large, and I mean the box isn't in perfect condition, but the system is complete. Everything is in there. It's a little dirty, it's going to need some tender loving care, which is why I haven't done a video on it, plus I've been busy each weekend since I've got it. I can't fit it in the game room in the box because there's nowhere to sit it where the box won't get damaged, so I've actually got it in my newly cleaned out storage shed. So rather than keep you in suspense, I will cut to a little bit of video that I have prepared earlier, showing you the box and what's inside it. Right, so here we are in my storage shed. I don't have room for this box in my game room. It's a very big box. As you can see, it's a little tired as far as boxes go, but it's still just nice to have one in the box. So what I'll do now, I'll just open the top of the box up and show you what it's like inside. So here we are inside the box. As you can see, a large percentage of the box is taken up by the daisy wheel printer. Adam's had matching controllers that are a different colour. The controllers seem fine as far as that's concerned. I'll have to clean them and things. It has a lot of yellowing. They were not this colour when they originally came out, so I'll have to do a bit of retro bonding, I'm sure, or something. These keys have really gone yellow. I'm really not sure of the original colour. I can't remember. But it all has like the logo on the printer there. Sorry, it's upside down. It's faded. All the cables are there. It has the Atom Smart Basic book and the Atom Word Processor book. It also has, amongst some bonus items that were in there, so this is a spare high-speed tape. Looks like it's in the middle, so it may or may not have something on there that's readable. We'll have to wait and see when I get it fired up. We have the Smart Basic tape and the Super Game Pack, and I do believe they were packaged with a copy of Donkey Kong as well. So these are all the original contents. As you can see, the unit, I've still got it in the polystyrene here. There's some, it's a holder for the controller to clip on the side. It is still very dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. Still an important notice, it has 2 tape drives. So I haven't taken it out, powered on or anything like that. I want to take it out, give it a real good clean, check that the belts are still on the drives before I turn it on and things like that. So I will do a follow-up video. This is just a quick update for my monthly video, just to show you that I got this item, and I'm very happy to have found one of these all these years, and it was one of the things that I put on the too hard list, because getting one of these shipped over from the States would have cost an absolute fortune. So very happy to have added this add-on to my collection. So I hope you enjoyed that quick brief look at what I have picked up, but as you can see, it's very dirty, a little bit of yellowing there. I need to clean it up. I need to check things like the belts and the drives, hook it all up and power it up carefully. Long-term plan, I would like to build a power supply so it doesn't have to be powered by the printer. Yes, they're powered by the daisy wheel printer that comes with it. One of the most annoying things about a great computer, probably other than that fact, I mean, they were trying to sell it as a productivity computer rather than anything else. But so I've never really played with them. I did work in a store that sold them, and we sold 2 in total. So, and neither of them were in the store very long. We sold the first one straight away without even setting up. Then we had another one in the, we did have it in the store for a little while set up. But I do believe it was either the first gentleman who bought it or who had heaps of trouble with his tape drives, or whether that was that one in store we did. And I'm not even sure that the second one we had in store was the add-on one, because there were 2 different versions of the Coleco. One requires a ColecoVision. The other one, which is the one I have, is completely standalone and doesn't require a ColecoVision. So one's an add-on and one's a full. And I do believe, if my memory serves back in the day, that's all we got. We got one of each. And that's the only stock that was ever sold down here in the southern part of Tasmania. There might have been some sold up in the northern city as well. I don't know. So that's why I've never thought I was ever going to get one. So unless somebody else has brought one into the state, I wasn't going to get one, which this one was. It's from America, so I will have to use a different power supply and things like that. But if I build my own power supply to eliminate the daisy printer, I mean, I will play with it complete and get it all working, but then to actually have it set up and actually use on a regular basis, I couldn't have the daisy wheel printer out because it would just take up too much room. So very excited about that system, and yeah, a totally unexpected addition to my system collection. And of course one very close to my heart with my homebrew development for the ColecoVision, and it obviously being related to the MSX in certain ways. And we do actually have another couple of normal pickups. Pardon me, right near the end of the month. I actually haven't had it very long. I've only had a couple of games of it. Is Raiden 5. There's a director's cut, I think it's called. So I believe this game was available on the Xbox 360 years ago, and this is a repackaging of it, rewrite, some sort of thing, port of it for the PS4. I've played a little bit. I've only really played it in story mode for a little bit yet. There seems to be another level select thing. I probably need to play that to unlock some more things. I do find the constant, I mean, I don't mind the odd anime cutscene and things like this, but the constant talking in the background of the characters is actually quite distracting. So I'm not very good at it yet, but deserves more play. I'm probably not enjoying it as much as the last couple of PS4 shooter type games that I've got. So, but probably because I haven't had enough time on it and I need to just spend some time to enjoy it more. I also got one book. It's another one in the Hardcore Gaming 101 Digest, Volume 1. It's one of their, I suppose, more mini volumes, a little bit more targeted. I thought I'd try one out because I do like both games. And it's the Bionic Commando, or Strider and Bionic Commando one. It's okay. I haven't enjoyed, I mean, it was obviously it's a briefer read. It was still interesting, but didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I did the other books. But I can highly recommend the other books. This one is only for true hardcore fans of those two games. They do have other games in there, but they're related to basically Bionic Commando. So there's probably about less than 1/4 of the book's on Strider, and the rest of it's on Bionic Commando and anything that plays like Bionic Commando. So probably a little bit too focused, which could be expected, but it wasn't very expensive. And I ordered it with some other stuff from Amazon, and selected the ship in as little shipments as possible. But they've sent pretty much everything in a separate shipment by the looks of it, even though they all shipped within 2 weeks of each other. So their own system is failing them. I didn't have to pay any more postage, thank God. So that's all for those. Oh, also, I've skipped over one. I forgot, so I didn't put it in my notes, and it's staring right at me here. In a trade with fellow Press Play and podcast member Aaron, I gave him some games. He gave me an Amstrad colour monitor, because I do have an Amstrad 464 and 668, I think it is. So I've got the 2 units. I do have I can use my Spectrum Plus 2 power supply with a conversion cable into a SCART thing, but it's nice having all the original hardware so it all works together. Doesn't make capturing footage off them any easier because we've got flickering screen, but I like the original, to get the original feel of the system. And so, yep, here's a little bit of footage I did on that for you guys. So this is one of the other pickups for the month. No, it's not the Amstrad CPC 464. Had this for a very long time. It is actually an original Amstrad monitor to go with it, which has the convenience of having the power and connections all built into the monitor, and you get the more original experience. So we can turn the monitor on and turn the Amstrad on, and we get that lovely blue original screen, nice and steady, and it works. As you can see, 50 Hz screen, so you get a little bit of mucking around from my camera there. I'll load a couple of tapes and have a go, and if the video turns out, I'll add those as screenshots of this. But very nice having that. I've also got the CPC with the disk drive as well, and it's got the extra power cord for that, which is really, really handy. So you can plug that in and everything is powered from the monitor. Just allow me to play. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put it in the game room yet. I may put it, swinging around a little bit, over there on my electronics workbench. But I might need to rearrange things a little. I'll have a think about it. And then I might leave one of the Amstrad set up over there. Currently at the moment, there's the Memotech MTX is set up over there at the moment. But so that's what I do when I get a retro computer out to play that's not on my other desk. Oops, over there. I've been putting them on my electronic workbench, so it just allows me to have a couple set up and ready to go. Right, so here we go. Here's Manic Miner on the CPC using the monitor. Just using keys. Absolute classic 8-bit game. Played it for a little while, so pixel perfect timing is required. You have to get all the keys. Oops, too slow. You do have an air timer, so you can't take forever. Yeah, I can remember. Just got it. Too soon. It's remembering the timing. Cool. I'll at least try and get off the first level. It's interesting that the screen area is quite shrunk. It's got it. Oh, mistimed it, and almost made it too. So hopefully you've been able to see that. It is very hard filming directly off monitors, but it's just a quick look, and it's just nice playing it on all of the original hardware as in back in the day. Alright, so back again. Sorry, lots of insert footage in this particular episode, and there will be at least one more. Now I thought, once I've been a bit slow on watching videos, I haven't seen any questions floating around, so I thought I'd do another video insert question. So what I'm going to do is pretty much pick up the camera, turn it around and look at my gaming area here and see what I've been playing lately. And I'd like to know what you've been playing lately. What is sitting in your systems now or near your systems that you've been playing lately? Doesn't matter how many you do or how little you do. Be interesting to see what everybody is currently having, playing in their collection at the moment. Right, so I've turned the camera around and we'll start at the top here. Now I do have Sega Rally Championship and Sternwood sitting here. Let's see. Oh, I haven't left one in, so it's probably Sega Rally Championship. Down here we have the Neo Geo CD, which is a system that I like a lot and usually play in any gaming session. We do have a game in there. There we go. It'll be interesting to see which one it is. And it's actually Puzzle Bobble. I quite enjoy playing Puzzle Bobble. I was thinking it might have been Ninja Commando. Now down here we have the Jaguar. I've been playing the recent homebrew release of Commando, which I enjoy a lot, with a couple of secondary holdouts here of Badlands, which I got with it at the same time, and Xenon. Now, Saturn, I probably haven't played it for a little bit, so is empty. PlayStation is also empty, but sitting near here is Castlevania or Dracula X. Alright, going over this way, so it's a bit of a mess in here. For MSX I have been playing the original Metal Gear. Still not very good at it. My new US Mega Drive or Genesis, you can see I'm playing, if you can see that, Darius 2. On the Super Famicom I'm playing Super Contra, and there's a copy of Super Metroid sitting there, along with a flashcard and Proteus. Oh, pardon me. We have the GX4000 with its 32 and 1 there. My SG-1000, I don't think there's anything in it. The GameCube. In here is the original PAL version of Zelda and the Nintendo 64, and that's actually my daughter who's been playing that. Now, as far as the ColecoVision, probably the most recent thing I've been playing, and it's sitting just here, is Night and More, which is basically Ghosts and Goblins on the ColecoVision. Recent re-release of that game with a few bugs fixed, which is on enhancements, which is very much appreciated. What are you playing on your systems now? Alright, I hope you enjoyed that look at what I've been playing lately. As you can see, a wide variety of stuff that has been capturing my attention. Alright, a couple more things for this video before we ramble on too much and all these inserts make it super long. A quick homebrew update. So I have finally made some decent progress on Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now Nintendo is a different system that I normally program for. Normally I come from an MSX and Coleco background, which is Z80. The 6502 is not bothering me. I seem to be able to pick that up and switch between the two reasonably easily with a little bit of a warm-up. But different systems have different architectures, and I've had a bug in my code for a couple of months now. And as usual with these things, you completely kick yourself afterwards once you figure out what it is. But I have fixed it. It was to do with memory banks and calling code that was in a memory bank that wasn't in memory. Very hard to debug, so this stuff is all written in assembler. And I'll fix that now. Hopefully while I've been trying to ramble on about this, you will see a little demo of Sydney Hunter playing up here. Because of that, I haven't implemented any of the enemies or the boomerang yet, but I have been working on that actually in the last couple of days, just nothing to show. But you can now walk around the entire first level, and most of the graphics and even the intro graphics are looking a lot better. Now, there are of course a couple of little bugs with collision detection on jumping and things like that, but those things get sorted out as you go. The main thing was I got past my major bug that was been holding me up, and with limited time in our daily lives, it's hard to fit in family life, playing games and writing games. It was a busy month otherwise, mainly been trying to focus on Sydney Hunter, so no more particular progress on Cavern Fighter. Other than to say, I've really only, it's play complete. I've only just got to add the sound effects and music and we're good to go. But I'd like to get a good solid beta out of Sydney Hunter before I switch back to that one. Right, coming up, there will be more what I call live pickup videos, where I do the pickup and I do the gameplay straight afterwards. But probably from now until Christmas I won't be buying a lot, because I'm trying not to spend too much money. But there are actually other items that I've received that I never got time to do gameplay videos of. So if I can find the original actual pickup, box unboxing video, I will use that and do the gameplays. And you guys out there probably won't be any the wiser of when I actually recorded them. But it matters to me. I like doing things live as much as possible. But yes, there is some stuff over here on this shelf here that I've had a chance to do a gameplay of. I do like to play every single game in my collection before it heads for a shelf, and some games stay out and get played for a while. So there'll be gameplays like that, but it won't necessarily be stuff that I bought recently. Although saying that, there's some stuff sitting right here that I bought recently that I haven't done the gameplays of, so I'll get to them. I've thought of a new series, and there's a twofold thing of this one. There has been, or finally, my games that I wrote for the MSX and original Spectra Video have been added to a website database of MSX games. I mean, they always have existed since the mid-1980s, but because I'm down here in Australia, and the circulation of those games was only here in Australia, they don't appear in a lot of databases and things. But anyway, a nice fellow sent me a message and said he's added all my games to the thing. I'll put a URL down below. And I thought, And I've got my website where it's got a screenshot, a little bit of a description of each of the games, but there's no video. And I thought, especially the earlier games are all written in BASIC, maybe with a little bit of machine code. I could do a video on each one of my games, but we talk about the code and how I wrote it for each one, because I think it shouldn't take me too long to record. It's a good thing on history, and it might be a learning exercise for everybody out there, and also it might allow me to get back into the momentum of, more importantly, let's make a retro game. It's more about, you know, interest and time, and where you spend your time. I do really enjoy making these things, but they are a lot harder than just sitting down and playing a game and recording it. So I'm trying to get back into that a bit more. And of course, one more, continuing my A to Z of my Atari 8-bit games. We've got the letter H next. Only one game to choose, but it's not a bad game. So that will be up this month as well. Alright, I'm Electric Adventures. I hope everybody out there is having a great time collecting and playing their retro games. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.